Hey.
Yes?
Oh shit, what the hell is that thing on your face?
It's just a face mask.
You are such a weirdo.
You know, you seem to be stressed. Maybe you should use some.
No thanks.
So, what do you want?
What?
You call me.
Sorry, I just like, when I saw you with the thing on your face, it's just like, never mind. I just want to ask you if you want me to teach you how to use Lightroom.
Oh, I'm fine, thanks. The other day I bought Peter McKinnon's preset pack and also used so many other apps with free presets, so don't really need to.
Yeah, but what if you can make your own style?
Why should I be bothered?
Oh, come on, let me show you.
You know what? Show me. Just like, hurry up, this thing is getting dry.
Okay, so open your Lightroom on your phone. Let's start with the curves. So make 4 anchor points. So you see the line. So if you press it, you can make like a dot and then you can change the settings from there, shadows, midtones, highlights. Anyway, let's add some contrast.
So let's go down with the highlights and then the other shadow. Let's go +10. Plug it down, the saturation. And yeah, that's good. And
So you got it? Come on, show me. Wait a second. This is not what I told you to do.
Nah, just use the preset. You know, I lost it when you say open your phone.
You know what? Can I have that face mask?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back again into this channel. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Actually, it was so funny. You know, like, I'm probably gonna think to make this a thing anymore. Like, every time that I have a video, I'm just gonna have like a funny intro. So today's topic is how to make a better picture for your Instagram. I usually see a lot of people posting on their social medias pictures that they took, and then they use a lot of filters made by influencers or other photographers and stuff. But like, I just want to teach you guys how to make, or at least how to have control of the image so you can edit your own picture instead of use tons of presets. So let's go straight into it and let's go into Lightroom Mobile. So this is Lightroom Mobile, and basically it's a free app. There is something that you can purchase on, I ask you to purchase on the app if you want to use selective or some of the tools. But you don't have to buy it, like the extended version. I think it's something like monthly, like £3.99 per month, something like that. But or if you have like already Lightroom, if you already bought Lightroom or Photoshop into your phone, it automatically give you access for the full version. But free version is more than enough. So first thing that I want to do when I have a picture is basically crop the image immediately so I can already see how it's gonna look on Instagram. So I go to crop, and then I'm gonna go on the left corner, and you're gonna see the aspect ratio, different aspect ratio, and the one that we're gonna choose is the 4:5, which is the Instagram one. And then I'm just gonna like resize it and eliminate extra stuff that I don't want them in the shot. And then I'm just gonna click OK. So this is gonna be the picture on our profile. And now let's start with correcting this image first of all. So we go to light. I would say don't do it the automatic mode, like do it. It's very easy to correct the image. I know there is like an auto that you press it, bam, done. But this is not what we want, so let's come back. Dude, this is a raw image anyway from my EOS R. I didn't take this picture with my phone, so it requires a little bit of work. With the phone, you have to do a little bit less of what I'm doing now. So let's now correct this image. So I would say let's add some contrast, and because raw image doesn't almost have any contrast. And then something that I want to do is bring the highlights down. And in this case, I don't want to bring it all the way down. I just want to leave this kind of halo on the side from the light. And then this is like one of the most important thing that I see in many people that make the mistake. Everybody like brings the shadows all the way up, thinking that is cool, which is not. And I would say the shadows is like find the sweet spot until something like that. Let's bring up the whites so we can have a bit more like a clean image. And I like to crush the black just a tiny bit, just like -10. Yeah, that's fine. Then before to go to the curve, let's adjust the saturation first. So let's go to color. So let's make sure that also we have the right white balance. So if there is something white in the image, it's very easy. You can go into this picker here, and then if you press it, it will make this circle. So you go and select a white area, and then you're gonna press this check on top, and you're gonna automatically like fix the white balance. On Instagram, it's very typical to have a bright image, especially if you are looking for engaging. But all those pictures, they don't want that much of saturation. So I would say, like for what I feel, I prefer to have a bit more vibrance. So let's go around +10, +12 for vibrance. And let's bring the saturation down to have this like Instagram vibe. And now let's go back into the light now that we fixed those things, and let's go to the curve. So the curve basically is having like an extra control, or like it's a tool that we use to manipulate, to change the image. And basically what it does, so if you see the line on top of the right, we have the white, and on the bottom on the left, we have the blacks. Right here, we have the highlights. Here we have the midtones, and here we have the shadow. And this works for every curve. It doesn't matter if you're using just the red or the green or the blue, or just like the RGB. Instagram doesn't want with this algorithm to have that much of editing. They rather to have more like a natural looking. So I would say let's just like add a little bit contrast again, bringing the shadow down. And so a lot of people also like to bring those blacks up to have this kind of like fade movie film style. Let's go and change the highlights. So for this image, I want to have like a very bright window. So I will definitely like bring it up a little bit to make this very bright image. And then on this last dot here, on this last anchor point, basically we can decide how bright we want those white areas. And even if I want to have like a bright image, I still would like to probably like to bring it just a slightly down, just a little touch down. And then the midtones are gonna, so basically modifying the midtones, we're gonna decide in what the image is gonna be more concentrated. So if we go up, we're gonna make it like the midtones brighter, or if we go down, we're gonna make the midtones darker. I would say let's keep it towards the brighter area just a little bit, something like that. And it already, like, I can already tell that the picture already changed a lot. It looks already good for Instagram. But let's see what else we can do here. So let's explain you what's those red, green, and blue curves. Those curves bring colors into our highlights, midtones, and shadows, or blacks or white, as in the curve of RGB. So for example, if I make anchor points right here on the red curve, and then I bring on the highlights, I bring down our curve like that, I'm gonna add teal on the highlights. Or if I do the opposite, I'm gonna add red on the highlights, and so on. If I do the same thing with if I do the same thing with the midtones or with the shadow. Okay, so what I will suggest is like don't make massive changes here. Just like decide one color for the highlights and one color for the shadow. So it's very typical on Instagram to have this golden style. So to make that, basically I have to go just to the blue curve, and then let's make those anchor points. And then from the white, from the very top right, let's bring it just slightly down, like something like that, not too much. But you can see on this white area of the window now, instead of be like blue, it's slightly yellow. a bit more like gold. And let's do also let's go even a little bit down with the highlights. And then I would say don't touch anymore the image. Like don't start to make like a lot of curves like that, you know, like in the end you're just gonna have like a weird color. So let's go now in the color, and in the grading basically it's the same thing on the curve. You can add colors for the shadow, midtones, and highlights. And I would say from here it's a little bit easier. You have less chance to ruin the image. So I already made the looking on this picture, so I rather to don't touch anymore and just go to the now to change the individual color. So let's go to the mix, and basically on the mix we have all those colors. So here we can change the HUE, and then we can decide how saturated is the specific color or the luminance. I would say I usually start with the blue, so let's do that. Let's go on the blue and let's drag a little bit, just slightly on the left, so you can see like this blue now is a bit more teal. And then maybe like it's too saturated, so let's bring it down, maybe like -5 is perfect. And luminance is something that a lot of people use in the wrong way. Like luminance should be like a slightly changes. Basically it brings it decide how bright or how dark is that specific color. So in this case the blue, so you see if I bring all the way up, it's just gonna make like it's gonna like erase the exposure, but just for the color, not of the image. And then if I go down, it's gonna make it darker. But as I say, this is a raw image, so it comes from a camera, from this camera that it costs £2,000 pretty much. So the quality of the image is so good that it's very hard to ruin the image during the editing. But if you're shooting with your phone, well, you have to be careful. That's the difference between shooting with a phone and shooting with a camera. So I would say just make like a slight change for that, and I will probably make a little bit brighter, something like that. And then let's add now the let's edit now the skin tone, and skin tone is a bit tricky. I would say always look at the different image and try to don't make it too yellow or too red. So let's keep it into a natural looking. So in this case, it's quite perfect. It's not. I'm not complaining that much about those this skin tone, and I would maybe just like add a little bit of yellow, bring it towards the yellow here, and then yeah, I will bring the saturation down -3. You see just like a slightly change, but those little change make a difference in the image. And then let's also bring up the luminance +6. And the end is like there is not that much that I have to do in this image, because like the only colors that I have available is the blue and the skin tone, because like the wood floor has the same color, kind of same color of the skin tone, and the rest is white. So I don't have to like over edit to try to make things that don't even exist in the image. Now the only thing now that we have left to do is go to the effect, and this is important. I really don't like when people drive the clarity all the way on the right. It doesn't look great, it looks horrible. And so for my images, actually, instead of leave it to 0, I rather to bring it towards -10, and to compensate the missing of sharpness, I will add more texture, and I will go +10. And then let's add the vignette just to concentrate a little bit more on the subject. And last thing, let's go to the details and add a little bit of sharpness. And this is pretty much it. Thank you very much, guys, for being with me in this video today. I hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you into the next video.